Welcome to the Freedom Fridays project with me, your host Pete Clark, the Whispers Guy. A chance to find out how I'm progressing or not with my weekly focus on time and focus. And this week, it's all been about Thursday. Yep, some of the distinctions and breakthroughs I've had have happened on a Thursday. So let me explain. So 12 episodes in, what this concept of Freedom Fridays has done for me is helped me create some guidelines, boundaries. It's a container for me to allocate headspace and physical time to add more life to my years. Now, sometimes that feels a little bit like maintenance. You know, sometimes I'll do exercise, sometimes I will do some life admin, sometimes I might even work. I might play at some point. And what happened this week was there was an opportunity to connect with my wife, but we couldn't do it on the Friday. And so, ironically, this whole concept of Freedom Fridays allowed me to change my schedule, redirect time and focus and attention. And actually, we connected. We did something together that we both enjoy, and it was great. And it happened to be on a Thursday. So, as I continue to reflect, this Freedom Friday project is not about Fridays. It's about moving from I have to and moving to I choose to. And one of the ideas I've got is I'm trying to line up some other people. We've done my first podcast interviews of some pretty normal, ordinary people like you and I, but doing extraordinary things. And I'm wondering if I can ask them 2 or 3 questions that might bring some further insight for those that are looking to make those changes. The second thing I want to share with you is this has probably been my best week so far. It's been an awesome week. I've been loving what the weeks, the days, the reflections have been bringing me. They've been bringing me many gifts of serendipity and challenge, but even in the challenge, I'm still able to sit with it and see the gift. So I've been loving that. And one of the things that I particularly loved was I listened to some other podcasts, and one of the recorders came up with a phrase that when they're feeling a little bit down, they can't make sense of the world, how do they get themselves out? And he summed it up by saying, seek novelty, make art, and help out. That's right. So seeking novelty, doing something that just sparks some interest, some novelty, some difference. Make art, whatever that might be for you, walking the dog, gardening, play, and helping out. You know, get out of your own head to help others. And as I reflect on particularly last Friday was, without a doubt, the best Friday that I've had whilst I've been doing this. And I paused to reflect on, so what was in it? What made that Friday so much better in my mind and in comparison to other Fridays? And some of the things that I did was, one, I helped others. I created something new. I added life to someone else's years. I felt like I was a little bit more, and I want to say in control of me, but I don't feel like control's the right word. It's more like I was more settled. I was more congruent. My energy was more settled, or I can't think of the right word. It was just more, I was more being than doing. I've been working on some concepts around surrendering and letting go. That seems to be working. I got some work, paid work, out of nowhere. It completely came out of nowhere, came out of left field, not expecting it. And that was lovely. I had a surprise contact from someone that I hadn't heard from for a long, long time. So it was just, for me, it was a beautiful day. And it kind of was the elements within seeking novelty, making art, and helping out. So I wonder if that's something that I can build upon in terms of, as part of Freedom Fridays, I can seek things that are novel. And I think doing these podcast recordings is definitely something different for me. It's becoming less and less out of my comfort zone. And as I reflect on what I'm going to say, I've really only got 4 or 5 bullet points, and I just keep talking as if you were here. The making art is the production of these. For me, it's the getting back into my golf. I'm really enjoying that walk spoilt in nature, as someone once said. And I'm enjoying the writing. So even the reflection and the writing that I'm doing with some of my weekly whispers and the Freedom Fridays project, I'm really enjoying that creative aspect of what this container has allowed me to do, and then helping out. One of the big things that happened last Friday that I feel really touched and proud and humbled by is I helped someone out who was probably in the place that I was, if not a year ago, 10 years ago. And it was lovely to just express, I'm only on the next page. We're all on a journey, our journey, and it was lovely to see some of the responses to some of the things I was saying, had I said that and had that for myself in the past. And it was really quite humbling that was the case. And that's what I've learnt so much more of, that when I kind of get in this little bit of a head funk and I go round and round the circles, and Dr. Doubt creeps in and the imposter syndrome floods into my head. If I can do something that gets me out of my head, whether it's novelty, art, or helping out, it seems to help. Sometimes exercise, sometimes meditation, sometimes just getting out and walking the dogs, sometimes just doing something that gets me out of a head. That seems to make a huge difference. And so, as I reflect on these podcasts, really recording of some rambling thoughts, really, I'm still intrigued. It's still a little bit of a mystery for me about where this is going to go. What I'm excited about is I've lined up 4 or 5 people who are willing to have a conversation with me about the extraordinary things that they have done. So the ordinary people doing extraordinary things. So look out for them to come in a few weeks. But for the moment, that's it for this week. Cheers.